January 28th, 1868. It was less than 3 years since Lee surrendered to Grant at Appomattox. It was less than that since the assassination of Abraham Lincoln. He had had 5 days to enjoy the end of what would prove to be the bloodiest conflict in American history. In February, the U.S. House of Representatives would impeach President Andrew Johnson, Lincoln's vice president and successor. In May, another group of Mercer girls would arrive in Seattle, coming from Massachusetts to marry lumbermen and fishermen in the Pacific Northwest. Most of them did. Also in May, Kit Carson, soldier and dime novel hero, would die of an aortic aneurysm. In July, the 14th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution would be adopted, guaranteeing freed male slaves full U.S. citizenship and all citizens the right to due process of law. In September, Louisa May Alcott would publish the first part of Little Women. Also in September, in Opelousas, Louisiana, more than 250 Black Americans would be killed by white vigilantes. In October, the 6.7 Hayward earthquake would cause significant damage and many deaths in California. In October, Robert E. Lee would enjoy his 3rd anniversary as president of Washington University. He continued in that office until his death in 1870. In November, Ulysses S. Grant would be elected President of the United States. In November, George Armstrong Custer would attack the Cheyenne at Washita River, killing 103 of them, including Chief Black Kettle, and taking 50 of the women as sexual slaves for himself and his officers. In December, President Johnson would grant unconditional pardons to all Civil War rebels. Arkansas, Louisiana, Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Alabama would be admitted back into the Union with no penalties for seceding in the first place. It was not a peaceful year or a peaceful country into which to bring a child. The mother of this child was 35 years old and in perfect health. The child was 8 months and 3 weeks along. The doctor, whose hands and apron were covered with the evidence of the 5 other babies he had already delivered that morning, parted the mother's legs and stuck his head between them. Fingers probed in a manner rough but not prurient, to assess how rapidly the birth was progressing. He stood up without bothering to pull the sheet back over the mother's knees.
"Everything looks normal. I don't see any problems. Another 6 hours, perhaps."
He shrugged.
"Maybe 12.
The woman pulled the sheet back down over her legs and glared at him, but was soon too busy to waste time on anger. An hour later, a healthy baby girl made her appearance in a slick of blood and effluvia. The doctor sniffed at it and exchanged a significant look with the nurse, who put her hand on the woman's forehead for a moment and nodded at him. The nurse took the baby from her mother's breast to clean her up and wrap her securely in a soft blanket. The mother died of childbed fever 3 hours later. The child lay in her father's arms, red of face, eyes scrunched tight, rosebud mouth pursed.
"Why not take her home?"
William said. Both his sons were there at his request, and neither of them was comfortable. He shook his head.
"Your mother would hate her, and everything she represented, and the girls would follow their mother's lead. Better she be raised an orphan than that."
He bent his head to kiss the baby's cheek.
"You shall not want,"
he whispered in her ear.
"You shall never be hungry, or homeless, or without support or guidance. I shall be watching over you your whole life long. This I swear to you, and to the spirit of your mother."
He kissed her once more and placed her into the arms of the wet nurse.
"Call her Claire,"
he said.